Hey everybody, welcome back to Play Casket with your host, Paraka the Goblin.
And Ghost, your co-host.
And this week we're going to do a special pseudo-Christmas, pseudo-holiday type of event, basically.
Christmas episode, Buy Everything Kids.
Basically a bunch of just the crazy 90s toy ads and whether or not we made out like bandits and stuff. And when we're talking about this, I want to make sure things are clear. We're talking about just toy ads in general. Like, a lot of them can get replayed during the holidays anyway. But there was a lot of stuff that kids want throughout the year. And I think we're just going to talk about basically some really crazy ones during the 90s when we were growing up.
Yeah, just toy ads in general, I guess. But
basically, yeah.
Okay.
But the stuff that's like more resonant to us now, and since it's about the time of where everybody buys kids loud, obnoxious items, I think it's fitting for Christmas. So, like, basically, we all know some crazy toy ads. Like, there's stuff on YouTube with compilations of the weirdest shit, right?
They're really cringe. Holy shit.
Oh my god, they are so cringe. But I want, like, what was the ones that you watched when you were a kid that felt like the most prolific? Like, they just stuck out to you, like, good and bad. Like, what's the good one for you and what's the bad one, basically? Like, stuff that sucks.
Sucks?
Yeah,
Well,
stuff,
I mean,
either or.
the ones that stand out to me the most, I remember were the ones that come in on Saturday in the newspaper ads.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the Toys R Us ones.
Yeah, the big ass ones.
Yeah, for the holidays. Those are always super fun to wait in anticipation every Saturday.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to circle the ones I want, and I still didn't get in anything. Just circle the ones, and we'll send them to Santa. And even Santa was like, no, you're a demon, little child, and you're not allowed to get anything, you tiny green menace. Thanks, Santa.
I was promised coal, right?
I was promised coal. Now how am I supposed to burn these bodies? This is horrific. Now I got a Nintendo. I can't do anything with this.
But
guess I'll play games.
Well, I remember, like, the one thing that really stood out to me the most was it was kind of how I saw Gundam too, or I guess like the first time I saw it was on Cartoon Network. But when I saw the toys, that really made my day. Although it kind of sucked because my parents were asking me, what do you want for Christmas? And I lost the ad, and I told them I want Gundam. They didn't know what I was talking about.
You want gum? I don't want Fruit Stripe. Do that again to me, and I'll disown you.
So yeah, that was like, that was painful. So I went with like something else, but I could have gotten the Gundam stuff.
You could have gotten Gundam so early in life. You could have been a master at it.
Yeah.
You could have had your own YouTube just doing models for like days, and now you're stuck with some tiny green menace. But for me, one that really stuck out was because I was a creative one as a child. I like to experiment and stuff. The ones that was really stuck out with me was kind of like a tie. The Dr. Dreadful Labs and the Creepy Crawler, like, Baker thing.
Yeah.
I did get the Creepy Crawler one early on in life, though.
The theme song still runs in my head. Google or YouTube it. You guys will know.
Yep. And then, so I did a lot of really crazy stuff with the Creepy Crawler one. It took off. I damn near had every tray and like all sorts of goop for it and all that. And I really I'm actually surprised it hasn't came back in a safer way, but I did see Dr. Dreadful come back, like probably about 5 years ago from now. And it didn't look like, I think Dr. Dreadful was probably the only one that looked remotely unchanged, where like Easy Bake and various other ones like that on the quote-unquote female end of it for girls. They reduced the sizes and the sharing sizes and all that because all the regulations. Just to let you know, all you parents who complain that they don't make toys like they used to, it's because a lot of people, when you were growing up, were so lazy that they let some childless little brat get into a leadership role and decide that they know better about your kid than you do.
Shit, I
Blame
remember
yourself. That's on you.
I remember. I think back in the 50s, they had make your own nuclear reactor.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference where like, oh, this thing can give you lead poisoning, we should probably turn it down, and the other ones are like, oh, this can make you fat if I don't pay attention to what you're making. Like, there's a difference.
Yeah.
Like, honey, make sure you only mess with that reactor until your hands glow, and then you're going to bed.
I
there's
want
a
my nuclear
difference.
reactors.
I wouldn't mind either. We would be far more energy efficient if we were all messing around with nuclear reactors. Think about it. All of us.
Yep.
Independent.
Yeah.
Glow in the dark, but independent. So there's that. But let's talk about some bad ones that annoyed the crap out of us too.
Soccer boppers. Holy crap, that thing's still stuck in my head.
You know what was funny was I think growing up, we actually got one kind of like a ironic gift. I forgot for what. Like it wasn't anything for holidays or anything, but I remember getting them, and they hurt. I don't know what the hell they were talking about. About you could punch your kids. It's like these kids on the commercials were just going to town on one another. Like I barely knocked one dude, and just because it was like that slappy, like hard plastic, like supposed to be like plastic on flesh. It stung.
Yeah.
It stung a lot. Like it was getting like slapped with a flat Voight ball. Like that hurts. Like so, I don't know how those kids are made of iron or they're drones. One of the two. But yeah, that I could see that going on. That was annoying.
I remember they had the shield and swords that they finally came out after that.
Yeah,
Those are
they had
pretty cool.
they had all sorts. They even had ones that kind of predated moon shoes. They were bad. They didn't last very long because the full weight of a kid just stomping onto them were just they did not last. But I'm gonna say, and this was in the late 90s, so I was kind of more of a kid. Like I was more of a like preteen and stuff. But the Mighty Bean ads drove me up the wall. Like the thing that baffles me now too, like looking back, I don't remember a single kid. None of my friends, younger brothers or sisters or anything like that, had Mighty Beans. No one had Mighty Beans. No one. No, not a single person. So I was like, and like I didn't see it flying off the shelves at Toys R Us. I didn't see it flying off the shelves at Walmart. I don't know who was buying these things because they obviously could afford commercials for these nuts.
Yeah.
But all they were like little shrink wrap decals on these like weighted fucking pill boxes.
Yeah.
Or pill shapes. And that was it. Like that was all. Like it wasn't exciting, but I saw it for so many years. It drove me up the wall. I didn't know who was buying them. Whoever was buying it, fuck you.
Well, didn't they have two waves? Because I remember seeing them.
They brought them back maybe about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
Roughly.
I remember seeing
Maybe
them.
a little sooner.
I remember seeing them when I was like in middle school or high school, and then later in my early 20s, I saw them come back. So
No, they're like 98. So I don't know. I was roughly in my middle school years. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My 98, 99, something to that point.
yeah, so somebody's buying them.
Yeah, somebody was buying them, and then they were buying them so good they brought them back. I'm like, look, why? Don't do that. Don't. Only Max Mofo Pokemon YouTube channel was the only person I ever saw anyone ever buy that thing.
Oh, that's probably why then.
That's it. That's the only person who bought it. Like this. No, I mean just recently. Like not in the
Okay.
99s when YouTube didn't exist.
Well, if anything, even if like if PewDiePie buys something, yeah, it just
It
goes
just
insane.
explodes.
Yeah,
But even then, that's for now, not for then. Like I don't know what happened then.
yeah.
Now, like I could see why some people. It's still stupid though. They're still the same thing. But yeah, no, those are some bad times. But
Oh, another bad one was a Crossfire. That song gets stuck in my
you just relate everything to songs.
yeah. Well, you just be sleeping at night, and then the song just comes into your head.
Psst. Crossfire.
Yeah.
No, I remember my mom always playing that one Pink song that was about her coming out and getting parties started. I remember that song like constantly. I don't know even the title of it. It was just drove me nuts because it would just click into my head. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and run into a wall now.
I'm in hell. Yeah.
Yep. But what ads made you made it victorious for you? Like what things kind of finally convinced your parents to actually buy you something?
Well, I don't know. Like most of my parents don't really pay attention. They're just like, "What do you want?" And then I'll just go get it. But one ad that really stuck to me, though, I would say, is the N64 color ads. You remember those?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
those were great.
a see-through color N64s. There's like the green, red, orange, purple, whatever.
Jungle green, radio something or radical purple, whatever, radioactive purple and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys get a chance to YouTube that, it's one of the best commercials I've ever seen. It was just a guy, like, it starts off with the guy. He's there's like a war going on between these three. It was
About
like
four
these
or five
four or five
factions, yeah.
factions of colors. Yeah, and then it
one
zooms
of
out.
them was like pink, so like kind of threw you off. Like what the hell is bright
Yeah.
fucking pink?
And then it zooms out, and it's the guy thinking about
The
what colors to get. And then his girlfriend comes up to him. Oh, which one?
Like
and then
bikinis.
and then they start fighting each other in the bikinis. Yeah, that one really stood out to me, and it's still one of the best commercials I remember. So
Yeah, that one was good. That one was a pretty good one. I think a lot of the Crash and the Sonic, Sega and Nintendo commercials back then too were actually pretty good.
yeah,
But I'll say Tiger Electronics probably ruined my gaming hood in a good chunk of my youth.
gaming childhood,
Yeah,
gaming
because
hood.
there will be times where I'm like, hey, can I get Twisted Metal? Hey, can I get Mortal Kombat? Hey, can I? And then I just get the Tiger Electronics variant of it. And
Shit.
that was horrific. It was sad and tragic. And I still have the Twisted Metal one. I still do, or even to this day. It's just a monument to my neglect.
Well, now that I think about it too, I still kind of want to go back and play them. Like, somebody should make a huge archive of these things.
Yeah. No, honestly, I'm actually surprised there hasn't been somebody to replicate the Tiger Electronics stuff and then, like, just put it on just some kind of, like, arcade thing. Just have, like, hundreds of these arcade, like, all these Tiger Electronic things just, like, rolled into, like, a disc or into a video game of some kind or something like that. And just have... They're all really crappy, but it would be good to have for the sake of having those.
Yeah.
For one point in time. Like, Nintendo kind of does that with their Game & Watch still.
Yeah.
Even to this day.
Yeah.
Not just with the recently sold Mario 35th and Zelda 35th Game & Watches, but they still had some other Game & Watches to celebrate various other things. And I think something to that point would actually be beneficial for a Tiger Electronics like archive, as it were.
Make it
They're
a mobile
horrible.
app. Just make it a mobile app. Holy shit, I want one.
Yeah, that would be like I could see a market for that, just for the sake of having it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I do not see many people playing those things, but just being able to have it on, let's say, like a cart or a disc or something to that point, people would just be like, there it is.
Yeah.
Because with a mobile app, and if it's digital only, they could go only so far until somebody decides to just pull it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But with like a physical piece of media, it would be something I could see some collectors. I do not see that many people wanting it, but I could see some collectors out there like, this is a chunk of archived nightmare fuel in the 90s, and that was it.
Yeah. Well, I can see them like, I can see it as something similar to like, a fidget spinner. You just pick it up, mess with it a little, and then, this kind of brings you back, and then you just switch.
Yeah, play
to
it
this
for
one.
the little nostalgia. I could see that. I have one game that's like that now on the Switch with Turok 1. The AI is horrible. There's a new AI that they want me to try, but for the honest sake, I want to play it for the nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like, I want to play it the way it was intended. Even though I'm better now, it's still like, yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Okay, I remember that. Like, I'm waiting for Turok 3. That's gonna be dope.
Okay.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what Night Dive does after Shadow Man 64. But those, and I'm going to say this too, I think Digimon being released at that time, even with the ads and stuff, the ads were kind of crazy,
Yeah.
made me hate Digimon back then when I was a kid.
Why? Would it be?
Because the ads made me want one. Then I bought it. Then it wasn't like Pokemon, so I didn't like it. Because I couldn't really combat the way I thought Pokemon was. And that's kind of started my rivalry with my one friend who loved like the anime of Digimon and all that. And I just didn't like it. Like, it was just dumb.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing was that like they should have stuck with being a Tamagotchi rival
Honestly,
rather than rivaling.
honestly, I think what their rival to Pokemon is actually what brought them to fame.
Yeah, true.
Like I think it was the I like the cool un-Pokemon because too many of the mainstream likes Pokemon. It's kind of like it's kind of like a popular artist that becomes popular because he was just unpopular before. Like it's just one of those things. Like instead of Good Charlotte, you had some other like underground one. Like Good Charlotte, I like
Bad Charlotte.
I like Bad Bob, and then suddenly Bad Bob becomes popular because Bad Bob isn't Good Charlotte, and therefore he's better because he's not mainstream, which then makes him mainstream. Like, I honestly think, in the longest run as a business, them going after Pokemon like that, I think generated the rivalry that they needed to make Digimon a success.
Okay.
Because right now, if it wasn't for that, Digimon Story, Digimon Cyber Sleuth, Digimon World, and all these other Digimon games that a lot of old fans like and like have reminiscence to, wouldn't have even existed.
Okay.
It would have just been a digital toy that faded off and then comes back. And I'm like, hey guys, remember me?
But
Yes,
Parata,
Narasa.
what's Digimon? No.
What's a Digimon? What's a Pokemon?
Is that like a Chinese Pokemon? No. Everybody's gonna want to be the shit.
No.
You can't hit me. You can't hit me.
Can't hit him. I tried. And no, I'll say that too. G is the reason why they made Digimon. There you go. That's what I said. I stand my point now. Anyway, but yeah, no, that's kind of what I think about that. Basically, is there anything that you thought that you kind of lucked out on because your parents bought you anything like that?
Like just weird ads, anything of that sort. I do remember one more thing about the bad ads is the Gundam model commercial. It was like, "What is your number?" It was like, I went back. I remembered that the what is it? Like each level of the builds. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all inaccurate. There was like I remember them talking about like, so what was up with the ads and the numbers on like the level of difficulty and the Gundam model kits. They're just like, oh, we just thought how hard it was to build them. That was it. There was no real level to it. Yeah, it's hilarious. So
it does kind of remind me of that, the difficulty on the Transformers now. They like how hard it is to transform them, and it's always like 2s and 3s, but they're like snap, and now you have a character. Like it's just the weirdest thing. Like how is these difficult actually?
Well, the new ones, aren't they more intricate because they have like...
No, they're regurgitating the old ones right now. They're kind of on the process of just regurgitating the old ones with more parts that resemble the current series. And then they have some Beast Wars ones for nostalgic.
But yeah, going back to like the difficulty, there's like... and now that we have like... Was it high grade, master grade, perfect grade? And that's like... Oh, real grade and then perfect grade, but it's just depending on how small the parts are and how much more intricate each one is. Mm-hmm. But the old ones, yeah, they're all high grades basically. So yeah, it's.
I do think that new builder like levels and stuff allows people to kind of not feel as intimidated.
Yeah,
I understand how some people are like, well, that's not how I got into it. That's fine.
Yeah,
right. You're still going to be leagues above them. Mm-hmm. They might eventually get to that point.
Yeah.
But there's some people out there, like myself, that look at some of those and like, I'm not touching that.
You always screw up your first one.
I am going to royally fuck this thing up. And it's going to look worse than my cooking. I'm not spending that much money on that.
Yeah.
But when you got something that's simple, I'm like, okay, a little more simplified. I can see that should be an arm, you know?
$10 I could go to town.
Yeah. And then like if I mess it up, I could always experiment on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kit bash, something to that point. But I'm glad that there's an introductory level that allows them to kind of understand it now.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing them when I was a kid. They were only in hobby shops.
Yeah. And
then that was just it.
Well, I do remember them being in retailers like Target and Walmart. They're bringing them back. Thank God.
I actually never saw them in there. I honestly never did.
Or really?
No.
Dang.
Not in Targets or Walmarts. I didn't see them.
No, okay.
Maybe it's just my area, but we never got those. Like, we got model cars.
Yeah, because I remember Bandai was going to do a big old thing with Bandai, and then Bandai just got cold feet and they dropped it. And Walmart and Target was really, really pissed about it. So
Yeah, they should have like stuck to their guns. I honestly think Bandai would be a completely different company now if they actually stuck to their guns and see what really works.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, thank goodness to these new... Whoever's running the company now, thank God they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Because we don't have that many people that are knowing what they're doing. Ain't that right, Rockstar?
But,
Just 1080p and 60 frames a second. That's all we asked for. But you fucked that up. So.
But, what was I going to say? Anyways.
All right. Yeah. Okay. No, that's like I never really saw them until I got into my later teenage years.
Oh, okay.
And that's because other people were like importing them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started slowly seeing them like sinking through like some major bookstores and stuff have some small little like Japanese area corner, and then they started having those models there, and then they started exploring everywhere. So I've never seen them before then.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I've always seen them in my peripheral, like okay, they kind of put them together, but I didn't know they were even Gundams.
Yeah.
Like that's how little I've seen of them that I can make that connection until I was much older.
Yeah. Well, now
So.
I remember what I was going to say was everybody loves Japanese stuff because Japan's beating the shit out of Western media. Thank God.
Well, I think that's what's happening now.
Yeah.
Because no one's buying the woke bullshit.
Yeah.
No one is. Not even the woke people. The woke people never liked it. The woke people don't even like their own idea.
I know. They just
they just want to change something for the sake of changing.
Yeah, they just wanted to pat themselves on the back and
Yeah,
then
they don't even like the idea they're pitching.
yeah.
Like they don't. They're like, you know what? I hate pink, but we should change everything pink. Oh, thank God I changed everything pink. I'm never going to buy these things again because they're pink. You know that. You know it. I know it. They know it. Everyone knows it. And they need to stop because I will buy stuff that's not pink.
Yeah.
For the sake of the color metaphor. Become pink, go in the sink. But yeah, no, I think that's what's really happening is that people want stuff that's just creative.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all, like, honestly, that's all what people generally want.
Yeah.
If there's more people who want to make creative, but like naturally gay characters and stuff like that, then fine, do it. If people don't want to even have any type of identity in it, then do it. They don't have to hit some kind of curve. And I think that's why a lot of people are leaning into Japan because they're just doing the thing.
Yeah.
Like, they don't need a history behind every robot. No, it's just a robot. There you go.
Yeah.
So, there's that. And I want to thank you all for listening because we're going to go ahead and wrap this up for now. So, I want to go ahead and thank you guys all. And we will see you on the other side. Hey, everyone. This is Paraka.
And Ghost.
I would like to say thank you for listening to our podcast.
If you like our content, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe and share our video with your friends.
You can also follow and support us on other social media such as Minds and Rumble. Links in the description below.